tell us about the book you are currently reading, or the people that would like to lay their hands on something can also have a look at, please?
I have various books.
Okay.
In fact, of recent, I ordered for the. I was planning on certain projects, and
Okay.
just like the project I said was going to involve me reading some things. I've ordered some book on psychology. You not believe?
Okay.
I read some book on psychology and sociology, because being new in, like I said, why in this society, there's a need for you to really understand the psychology of the people you are dealing with.
Important.
This is not home where you by nature just know what to do because you are there. These are different. It's completely, in fact, the word completely is the exact word to use. Completely different society. The way they see things, not the way you see things. Even the workplace experience is different. The work relationship experience is different. So it's completely a different society. So there's some book on psychology that I'm working on ordering on Amazon, because I actually want to take my time to get to read about this, read their society. But for me now, my Bible has been the book that I really kept it on, and I would really advise, because that's another thing again I discovered about the believers here. There's a need for us to really look into that book, because I believe it's an amazing book. It's a compendium of books, because it actually is a library. It's 66 books. So that's like I used to tell my friends, that's enough book for you to read for a lifetime. So that's the book presently. I would advise anybody now to lay their hands on.
Okay.
To really get their hands on, get your hand on the Bible and read it.
That's good. That's good. That's fine. Okay. Yes. Today we're looking at the DNA of a real man.
Yes.
That tells us that there are men and there are men.
Yes.
One of the a great man once said that men are in sizes.
Yes.
That life is in phases.
Yes.
And that has been proven over time.
Yes.
That you've come across some people, they're interesting working with.
Yes.
They're interesting chatting with.
Yes.
But some men too, when you have a conversation with them, you become drained.
Yes.
Afterwards than you like before. Possibly before you met with them, you were like happy.
Yes.
But they leave you sad.
Yes.
Some men, while meeting with them, you felt hope.
Yeah.
But leaving them, you feel drained down.
Exactly.
So then also there's some people that you come across like you don't even know what exactly to do, because if you're not very careful. So there are real men, and some people have said, okay, this is not a man. So when you see a man, how do you know that this is actually a man and that one is like a boy?
Okay. Let me start by saying this. To really put everything in their proper perspective, when we use we're using man now, not the generic man. We're talking
Absolutely.
about the male gender.
Exactly.
Now, I say this to people. I said there are only two set of, as it were, men in the world.
Okay.
First is the saved and the unsaved, because it's so important that men understand that. Because see, man is actually a spirit who possesses a body, and who possesses a soul, and he lives in a body.
Okay.
If you look at the way the world is made up of, because if you follow the sequence, is the spirit, the soul, which encompasses your mind, your will, and your emotion. Then the body, that is the suit that give us opportunity to make contact with the physical world. But because of the fact that we make more contact with the physical world, we tend to define man from the physical point of view. So we say man is a body, he has a soul, then he has a spirit. In fact, what we should have placed first is what the worldly man will place last. Okay. Which is, in other words, less attention will be placed on the spirit of a man than on his physical nature. So the physicality of a man has really been the error that men make to define who is a man. If he's big, if he's muscular, if he can do more physical things, then would have said this is a man. And Africa didn't do us any good, because Africa gave us the mentality of a man mustn't show emotion, a man mustn't cry, a man mustn't weep. Like somebody says, when did your father tell you he loves you?
So does that mean men don't know how to love? Is that what you're saying?
Because men know how to love, but they don't know how to say it.
Oh.
Because you are not trained to say it. You are seen as weak if you say it. Just like if you cry as a man, they will not tell you, oh, take heart. What they tell you, don't you know men don't cry? That's, you see why? You know why? Because we define man from the physical point of view first. We look at man as a physical being, someone that is physical, someone that is emotionless. Let me use that word. It doesn't show emotion, but that's not the real man. Because the real man must show empathy. That got to do with his emotion. Because it's empathy that helps you reach out to help people.
Absolutely.
A man who lacks empathy can't help. It's empathy that puts you in a place where you can be weeping for people, not because they owe you, but if you felt the position they are or the condition they are is the condition you can help, and here you are helpless to help them. That's empathy. That can get to a position of helping, or you are even capable of helping, and you decide to reach out, go out of your way to help. It's empathy. So a man must have empathy. Now, but that's not the physical side of a man, because a man has been taught not to show emotion. Don't cry. If you lose a loved one, you don't cry. Don't you know you're a man? Brace up. Talk
like a man.
You see now, control the man like show physicality, show masculinity. You know, that's what we call a man. But see, we come to find that over the years, that even that has failed. Because if that was working, how come the world is in a mess? If it was actually working, because it has been thrown upside down, we need to turn it right back up again, where you first address the spirit of a man. The spirit of the real him. It's a spirit. You can't be claiming that man is of God, and then God is a spirit. Then man is a spirit. But man need to make contact with the physical world. So put him in a suit. The suit make contact with the world. So that's why I said the first thing must understand about man is that the saved man and the unsaved man.
Okay.
It's the saved man and the unsaved man.
Can I interject you?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes talking about the spirit of a man, which is I understand is very important.
Yes.
But then we've come across some people saying that, some daughters saying, I will never marry a pastor.
Okay.
Because some ladies will also say, I hate church guys.
Okay.
Because all they tell you is just about the Bible.
Okay.
They don't understand what goes on in society.
Okay.
That those church guys don't have they don't have intellectual capacity.
Okay.
Like those guys that go into the society,
okay,
that mix with the world.
Okay.
They just carry the Bibles and they don't know what exactly is going on in the society.
Okay.
So and over time also we've seen some people that would say they actually speak in tongues, but they are poor in the mind.
Good.
So how do you justify, or how do you just oppose
all those things?
Exactly. So you can have a balanced man, being a spirit, but a spiritual man that has something to offer.
That's
a spiritual man that is able to like help people.
Okay.
A spiritual man that is able to understand what is going on in society, okay, and can offer help to society.
Okay. Let me now marry them. The first and foremost, see, those who call spiritual man are nothing but religious men.
Okay.
Let me be honest with you. You can't be spiritual and not be intelligent. You can't be spiritual and not understand physical things. And when we say spirituality, doesn't mean a pastor.
That's good.
That seems to be the problem. If you see that people now talk about ministry, the next thing they think they are going to start a church. That means the mind of people. They say ministry, next thing church. But it shouldn't be. Daniel didn't start the church. Daniel was a civil servant.
Right.
Joseph that we call all the time, never started any church. He was also a civil servant. Most of the men who read their story in the scriptures are civil servants who never work. In fact, funny enough, they even work under strange government, as it were. They work under men who even know God, and the light shone around them because they were spiritual men, not religious men. They were spiritual men. In matter of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Daniel excelled more than his mate, Daniel and his friends. They were not spiritual men. So Daniel excelled more than him. In matter of knowledge, understanding, in matter of all literature, Daniel has spent literature of the Chaldeans, and Moses was knowledge in all the wisdom of Egyptians. These are spiritual men. So we must move away from religious men and stop calling them spiritual men. Because anyway, don't blame them. If you are not wise or discerning enough, you tend to see a spiritual person and call him religious, or call a religious person a spiritual person. But it's not. If you are truly spiritual, you understand that these three things must be married: your spirit man, your intellectual man,
absolutely,
and your physical man. You get it?
Yes.
If you are spiritual, you understand that you must marry the three. Paul talked about bodily exercise. Wasn't he a spiritual man? Did he marry? Hey, see the way he married now. He's talking about body exercise. The same Paul, Romans 12, is talking about renewing your mind.
Absolutely.
You see, you get what I'm saying now? And so, if you truly are spiritual, you will marry the three. So anybody that cannot marry the three is a religious person. Just tell him you are a religious person. And often that made the case. It is religious men who masquerade as spiritual men that cause all this trouble, and that make people feel that if you call yourself a spiritual person, that means you are operating outside the world. It's impossible to operate outside the society that you find yourself. In fact, the beauty of who you are is how you carry out those instructions of God. We are in the midst of those people, because the men we call heroes of faith are men who practice it in the midst of people. Not in a denomination. They practice in the midst of people. In the midst of, I mean, if you can imagine, like I said, use that for instance. He practiced his faith in the midst of people who don't understand who God was. And he excelled. So spiritual men know how to marry the three. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know how to marry the three, because even the scripture tells you straight up, renew your mind. So that's a place for the mind to be renewed. That's a job for the man to do. That's the intellectual mind, which is the mind of a man. That's let us marry the three.
That's good.
The spirit, his soul, which encompasses his will, his emotion, and his mind, which deals with the intellectual ability of a mind, his mind. Then, of course, his physical body. We will deal with his appearance, we will deal with physicality, we will deal with you getting exercise, making sure your body is working well, eating well, sleeping well. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Appearing well. You get what I'm saying now?
Exactly.
Now, for let me just to digress with what you just said. For somebody who say for example, I can't marry somebody that is short too because they are not discussing spiritual things. It's because I just met religious people. If you ever met a religious man who is balanced in all those three things, you get what I'm saying? You will not really bother much about his height, except you just want somebody, if it is your, like in terms of your preference.
Absolutely.
And not because I will say it's disqualified, because it's not, if it's your preference, which of course you have a right to your
absolutely.
preference. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in terms of, if you meet a real spiritual man who understands these three things, you wish you marry him, regardless of his height. It doesn't matter if he's 2-4 feet, because you know that he has everything. He's spiritual, you understand the spiritual, you understand the intellectual stuff, and through, of course, his physicality, understand those three things. And the DNA of a real man,
yes,
must encompass these three things. So we must not do one. Okay, let me give you an example. That people have made choices based on physicality, we later regretted. Then even the physicality now become nothing to them. The tall guy, the physique guy now became
TDH, tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, now became nothing. Because that's something they needed to see. Character was not there. Do you get it now? Yes. Character was not there. And character is not of physicality. Character is more of your spirit. You get what I'm saying? Character is something that is in you. It's not something you will see.
Yeah.
And oftentimes character will not show in the public. It's something that happens behind closed doors. It is the reason people will not be able to reconcile when the woman is complaining. They say this man, don't man, is an animal behind closed door. I say, no, this gentle looking man, this well-to-do man that appear well, it can't be like that. You don't live there, because character will not show itself in public. You get what I'm saying? So men who have also made decisions that miss it. They miss the real man. They miss the real man who, because they themselves, like, no life. It really depends on what you are looking for. Because oftentimes people don't even look for the right stuff. Because if you don't look for the right stuff, there's absolutely no way you're going to come across the right one. Because what you are looking for is what you are looking for. So even if the right stuff is standing before you, you will ignore it because that's not what you are looking for.
So there's a place of someone understanding, knowing what exactly he or she is looking for.
It's the key. It's the key. It's the key. Just like even a man, also, how many men too have missed it because they too went to look for wrong things. Because they do want to look for wrong things. They don't look, because this thing applies to also to the women. The same thing is the spirit, is the soul, is the body. It applies to the female gender. It applies. If you're a man, you must look for it. In fact, oftentimes I said, there are times in my life that I thank God that I marry you because you understand spiritual things. Because at times things happen at home. I know you have experienced it. When you know that your intellectual power can carry it, your physical sense, your physicality can carry it. It will take somebody who understands some spiritual things to carry it. It's not, and I've heard that, and I tell people, I say, look, I pray that things will not happen in your life that will not make you realize that you should have married somebody who understands spiritual things. And there'll be things like that in life where your physicality will not be able to carry it. Your intellectual capacity will be zero. It's a man who understands spiritual things that'll be able to understand it, or a woman who understands spiritual things that'll be able to help you.
Okay, thank you very much. So when you mentioned spiritual things, so can you just break it down?
Yeah.
Now, like, into more perspective for people to understand.
To understand.
So we're not really looking out for, I'm looking for a spiritual man. Are you spiritual?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me quickly break this down. So that's why I said it's a challenge of the saved man and the unsaved man. Two men exist in the world.
Yeah.
Saved and the unsaved. Now, the spiritual man cannot come alive until the man is saved. Because when we say somebody is saved, it's the spirit that is saved, not that it changes color. If you have come to meet with Christ and you are saved, it is your spirit that is saved, not this your physical body that is saved. Because if it is changed, then probably you have to change color. You didn't change color. You get it? It's the spirit that is that is saved. Then when you begin to expose yourself to the body, the things of the spirit that have saved you, which is the spirit of God, it starts affecting your mind. You start thinking differently. Because if the spirit will not change, the mind can't follow suit. The soul will not follow suit. The spirit must first be changed. So what I said, the spiritual man is a man who is saved. Let's break it down. It's a man who is saved. Because the word has come to the place where we must now come to see that being saved is no longer an option.
That's fine. So thank you. So I would say, how do you then know that this man is a saved man,
okay,
and that one is not a saved man? Because when you go out also, are there specific places you can actually identify or relate with saved men, or you can find them? Because can you find, like, you see people that say, okay, because they wanted good marriages for themselves,
yes,
they went to the church to get married.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they got married to wrong people.
Yes.
Right? So how do you then identify this man? Is it by the eye of the man, or by the way the man good? Exactly. So how do you know?
Let me quickly say how you know that. To identify a saved man, you must be saved yourself, because take deep to call on deep. You must, just like the same way, if I was going to marry somebody, I must be saved myself, because it is the spirit that connects. It's the spirit that resonates with each other. The spirit will not resonate with the mind. The spirit will not resonate with the flesh or the body, as it were. The spirit will resonate with the spirit. So both of you must be saved. If I'm looking for a saved woman, I must be saved.
That's it.
If a woman is looking for a saved man, she must be saved. Because if you are saved, and this is what I tell people, if you are saved, genuinely saved, no unsaved person will appeal to you. No unsaved person will appeal to you. If you are except you are not genuinely saved. If you are genuinely saved, no unsaved person will appeal to you. You know why? You know why? Because you look at what you are, what you have, and what you are bringing, and look at the same person and said, can that person bring it?
Thank you. But how do you explain seeing a very good woman, saved,
yes,
possessed so much gift in her? Prior to the time she got married, she was always vibrant, very helpful to people, outgoing, not just being on a, not just being to herself, but after marriage, the same person turned around. But this same lady actually possibly got married to a pastor or something, and after marriage, she withdrew to herself, let all her friends alone, and even possibly left all her families alone. And the thing she was doing before, she stopped doing those things. And when you call her and she will tell you, oh, my husband said she doesn't want this, or he doesn't want this, or he doesn't want that. So how do you connect that?
Let me explain that relationship. If, like you said, if you are saved and you, like a sister is saved, that scenario, let's speak from that scenario. A sister is saved,
yes,
and we know how to be up and doing, to like we said, to be, she's zealous, and suddenly she got married.
yes.
The question is to who? You see, that's why I said, if you are genuinely saved, you look at what you are bringing, then look at the person you say you want to marry, then find out, can she bring it, or she to ask herself, can he bring it? Because oftentimes, let me tell you this, that's why I said, if you are genuinely saved, and if you have taken time to grow, to mature, that's why I said, not everybody that will appeal to you, not every sister that will appeal to you, and not everybody that will appeal to you, because you are saved, you are matured. What you are looking for is determined by what yourself you are bringing. Is he going to bring, I'm not saying bring it 100%, like I will bring it, but is he bringing enough? I'm not saying she's going to bring everything like I'm bringing it, but she's bringing enough into this relationship. That is the idea of courtship, getting to know the person. But as absolute person I go to court, that's why I've seen people who are engaged to people. They now hear that 2 months or more years, they say they're broken up, and when you find out, and often times when I so why, so I find out that it's not as spiritual. You see it, you get it now.
Yes.
That means it's not operating at the level that I want somebody I want to marry to be operating at. See, that's somebody that is genuinely safe, and she's not fooling herself, because oftentimes people fool themselves. I've seen people go into relationship. I say, don't worry, I will change her. I say, okay, go ahead. Yeah, you are God now. We'll see, because only God can change. Yes. Nobody can change anybody. Some people have got themselves into trouble, type thinking they can change. You can't change anybody. You didn't even change yourself. That's the truth. So why do you want to make you think I can change anybody? So the saved man, if you are genuinely saved, your choice, your preference will be towards that thing too. If you are bringing something solid to the table, if you are thinking that this person is going to bring it. Let me tell you, and that's every woman will not appeal to you. Not every sister will appeal to you. It's not. Will not appeal to you. So when I see brothers where every sister appeal to, I say, you don't know what you're looking for, and because you have not identified who you are. When you identify who you are, and God help you enough to identify your purpose early, you know that every sister will not appeal to you, because you judge them by what you are bringing. You judge them by where you are going. Is she appealing to my vision? Is she appealing to my purpose? Will she contribute, or will she take me away? The same will go for the sister too. Is he going to contribute? Is he going to invest in me, invest in my dream, invest in my purpose, invest in what God wants me to be? Because those are the things that guide a matured person. You get it? But for somebody who like I said we are not matured, that's when every sister or every brother becomes appealing, or the physical thing now becomes the in thing. But for someone that's genuinely saved, you look at the person coming. And I want to say this quickly. People should not separate spirituality, being spiritual, from physical things. They shouldn't. They shouldn't, because actually they go hand in hand. If you are spiritually sound, it will help your physicality. If you are sound, it helps you physically. It helps it helps the choices you make in life. And nothing helps. Look, if there's anything one would thank is God for, is the fact that you understand spiritual things. Men have gone into depression. Why? They don't understand spiritual things. It's not a spiritual person, so he doesn't understand even the simple implication of some choices is making or he has made. They don't. Some men has gone far in error before they understood that they are in error. But the spiritual person understands. So the choice is correct from the beginning. He wasn't going to go near it from the word go, because he understands the implication of his actions as a spiritual person.
That's fine. So does that mean a spiritual man cannot make a mistake?
He can. I'm not saying he cannot make a mistake, but what kind of costly mistakes? No kind of costly mistakes. You get what I'm saying? No kind of costly mistake. Every man can make a mistake, but not like a costly mistake. That's a mistake that are costly.
Okay.
That can take you a lifetime to put yourself together. A lifetime to put yourself together. And I always let me tell you this: before a spiritual man make a mistake, there are always red flags. There are always red flags. People should know that there are always red flags. There are always red flags. Only thing is that we tend to ignore the red flags. We tend to tell ourselves, like we said the other time, don't worry, I can handle it. For now realize that you can't handle it. There are always red flags. And if you take your time to observe the red flags and actually see them as red flags, as warning signs, now come, put a stop or watch it. It helps you. But oftentimes people ignore. And so it still go to show that you're not mature. You know what I say? It still show that you're not mature. There's no way a mature man will know and see two iron. One is cold and one is hot. And he's given an option of picking one with his bare hands and go and pick the hot one. Do you think it will happen physically? It can't happen. It can't. If I put two irons now, one hot, one cold, and the option is you have to pick one, and you have to pick it with your bare hands. Absolutely no way. You will pick the hot one with your bare hands. The same way. That's why I say if you are truly mature, you get what I'm saying now? You will not see hot and cold. Then you see show that you are here to deal with your maturity. Because what we call maturity, let me explain it. It's not what is maturity. Till we see the choices you make, we can't say you are mature yet.
So your choices determines whether you're mature?
It's not mature. Till we see the choices you make.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that you are hot, a coat of hot, or you are the making us in church, or you are the loudest hallelujah, or you are the loudest amen when the prayer is offered. No. The choices you make shows your maturity. The choices to forgive instead of to hate, you understand this now, shows your maturity. The choices to ignore instead of to engage, you see that shows your maturity. It's not the fact that you know that's the way we have painted matured men. If they're the one that mount the pulpit the more, if the one that is collecting the tithe, if the one that is giving the offering, if the one that is those in our mindset, somebody we think more of a more charismatic person is more mature. That seems to be a false impression of being mature. If it's more charismatic, German, but it's his choices. It's the choices you made.
Charismatic and active.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of people making such kind of mistakes, saying, "Oh, he's very active." So he's very active means this area
to them
means that
to them
he's
matured.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We tend to interpret somebody being active for being mature. Being active is engaging in what you're doing. Being active is a sense of interest. That comes as a result of interest. If you are doing something that you have interest in, you'll be active in it.
Right.
So that shows your interest. But does that show maturity? No.
So where do you draw the line that, okay, this man is active?
Yes.
But I'm not sure that he's matured. So how do you
identify it?
Yes.
It takes engagement. It takes a mature person to identify a mature person. That person is more mature than that one. Why? Because probably you've seen the choices they've made, or you had the conversation with them. Because this is what to know somebody to have a conversation with them. Because I tell them, I say, if I talk with somebody for 5 minutes, I'll tell you what that person is capable of. So yes, Jesus said it, made it clear. Say by their words.
Absolutely.
So everything is reviewed. Everything is reviewed. Just engage them in conversation. You will know that this person is mature in this area. It's not in that area. It's when you talk to. Because from the abundance of his heart, his mouth will reveal it. And that's why if you see those who are into relationship will counsel somebody, go for some time, get to know the person, engage in conversation, because it's in conversation that things comes out. Because out of the abundance of any man, not just when just out of a man, we didn't say the out of Christian, or out of the abundance of the heart of a man. As long as it's a personality, it's a person. It's out of his abundance who he is will show. Just engage. And when you engage them and they begin to reveal certain things to you,